Hello guys, my name is Nancy. I am an occupational therapist and this is a LovelyyOT channel. On this channel I talk all things therapy, especially occupational therapy, obviously, right? I also help students get into OT school, stay in OT school, and transition into being professionals, okay? So if you have any questions, if you have an essay that you want me to edit, like a personal statement, if you need help with anything at all, go ahead and go to my Instagram and check out my services. Also, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Like, come on. Why are you not subscribed to me? You don't like me? You don't like me? No? Okay, all right. I won't take that personal, but please go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like, comment, and yeah, that's it. Let's get into this video, okay? All right. Alright, so today's video, we are going to talk about if OT is a good career choice or not. You know, I don't want to say it's a good career because I'm doing it, but it is, okay? Let's just be honest. But OT, I'm going to give you guys the facts, and at the end of the video, we're going to determine if it's a good career choice or not, okay? So, number one, you get to work with people of all ages. All ages, from literally from the NICU, from birth to death. Okay, so you can work with any kind of population that you want to work with. So I love the fact that OT is diverse in that way. If you want to do a little bit of peds for a year, maybe go into geriatrics and work with older people. If you want to work in the school system and work with kids, you can do that. If you want to go into communities and work with people with different ages, you can do that. There's so many choices available for what you can do with one degree, by the way. Okay, and you don't have to be specialized. So for example, once you graduate and you pass your boards, you don't have to specialize in peds to work in peds. You don't have to specialize in geriatrics to work with geriatrics. Once you have that degree, you can get a job in any of these settings. Like, how amazing is that? Okay, so that in itself is so cool, right? It gives you so many options. You don't have to stay in one setting and get bored. Speaking of settings, that's another thing that we offer. I feel like they need to be paying me to talk about OT. Like really, come on. ALTA, where you at? No, but seriously. Okay, so also with the settings, like there's so many different settings that you can work in, right? Obviously, I kind of already mentioned a little bit with the pediatrics, with geriatrics, and even in each population itself, there's so many different places that you can work. So even if you're working with kids, for example, you can work in a NICU, right? You can also work in outpatients with kids. You can also work with school system with kids. You can go into their homes to work with them. So that's right there. That right there is like 4 different settings just working with kids alone, right? So you can try different settings in each population. If you come to geriatrics, the same thing. You can work with other people in their homes. You can work with them in the community. You can work with them in a skilled nursing facility, a long-term care, assisted living, independent living facilities. There's so many different options. Like, come on, really? Like, how good can it get? Really, how good can it get? Okay, now. Another thing that we also do is you can work with literally any diagnosis. Any and every diagnosis out there, whatever it is, you can go ahead and name some. Go ahead and name some right now. Okay? You can work with any diagnosis. From literally someone having a fracture, whether it be a hand fracture, all the way up to cancer, to HIV, to spinal cord injuries, to MS, to autism, to ADHD, to what? Like so many different options. All the mental disorders you can work with. There's so many different diagnoses that you can work with if you want to keen in on one specific area. For example, if you wanted to work with older people with Parkinson's, you can do that. If you want to open your own business and just focus on that alone, open like a dance studio for like people with people with Parkinson's, you can do that. If you want to open your own business just working with kids with autism, you can do that. With adults with autism, you can do that. I mean, I just cannot, like, just talking about it is giving me goosebumps because that's how good it is with that many options available. Okay, so take advantage of it. You will never ever get bored. Like, literally, you can never get bored in OT. Now, another thing that makes OT such a great career choice is the fact that it's a very flexible career, but it's also flexible in its scheduling, meaning that there's so many therapists who don't work full-time jobs. You can work full-time definitely if you want to. You can work part-time if you want to, and you can work PRN or per diem if you want to. So on-call basis. So it's very flexible in that way. Also, there's a lot of different places that don't care what time you get to work. As long as you come in and do your work, you can kind of come in and leave at any time as long as you get your work done. As long as you see your patients, they don't mind. So it's flexible in that way as well. Okay? If you needed like a weekday off so you can come in on the weekend, you can do that. If you need like, okay, I need to have an appointment on Wednesday, let me just take off Wednesday and come in on Saturday and finish my shift, you can do that. So it's also flexible as far as, but this depends on where you work. Like, I know some places that you work, they're a little bit more like strict about that. I'm like, why are you making things difficult for people? You know, make it flexible. As long as the person comes in and see the patients, why are you making it strict? For what? Like, for what? For what reason? So that makes it pretty cool. Okay. All right. Another thing, which is probably one of the most important thing of why OT is such a great choice. Let me sip my water before I tell you this one. It's a good pay. That's it. That's what happens when you get too excited. The pay is great. Okay. It's good pay for good living. Okay, and if you want to know how to get rich doing therapy, definitely go back and see my video that I made probably 2 videos ago or 1 video ago, where I talk about how to I think it was 2 videos ago, how to get rich doing therapy. And I'm going to make an updated video on that probably like a year from now, where I'm really deep into it to give you guys even more gist on how to do that. Okay. But yes, even if you don't want to start your own company and do your own business and you do want to work for someone, you can still make a lot of money doing what I do. Like, good enough money for a good living where you can do the things that you want to do, take vacations, and live a normal life without struggling for money. Okay, and if you wanted more money and be rich, because I mean, come on, some of us want that, right? You can also do that. There's the opportunities available for you to make great money. I know OTs who are making a lot of money. Let me just say that, okay? And so there are so many different opportunities within OT to allow you to open your own businesses, be your own boss, make more money, okay? So, I mean, really, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I really don't know. Once you get your license, the fact that you can start your own business, I love that. I love that because you don't need any extra classes unless you really wanted to be specialized in one thing that you like. Okay, you know what? I need more education on this and I want to specialize in this, so I want to take more classes in order to do it. Absolutely, there's also options for that as well. And definitely do that. But I'm just saying, if you didn't want to do that, you don't have to. You can still start a company doing like outpatient or working with kids, doing like private pay and things like that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Definitely different opportunities out there for you. Okay, all right. Another thing that I also want to say is OT is also a great career. Therapy in general, okay, because it's not going anywhere. I know I hear this a lot, and people are always saying, do you think there's a future for OT? Do you think there's a future for therapy? Do you think we're going to get phased out? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where? I mean, where? Literally, where are we going? There's nowhere that we are going. We ain't going nowhere, okay? And the more I get into OT, the more I realize that we are needed more than people even can even imagine or even realize. Therapy is so important. I've seen the changes and the difference that therapy can make in someone's life. I've seen it with my own two eyes, not someone telling me, not watching a video for whatever. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've experienced it. How much therapy can help someone gain their strength again, gain their ability to get out of bed, even wound healing, okay? Being able to put on a shirt on, being able to feed themselves. The little things that we take for granted, therapy allow people to gain skills that they have lost or gain skills that they never had. And if they did have and they have lost it because of an injury, because of a diagnosis, therapy helped them regain that back. You don't understand how important that is until you have lost something that's so important for you. Okay, so, and I've seen this. I've seen patients who are like, oh my God, like I would do anything to be able to use my hand again. I would do anything to be able to just get up out of bed and being able to go to the bathroom. Things that we take for granted. And I understand we take it for granted because we don't think, oh, it will never be me. I will never need therapy, or sometimes people just don't know, right? I get that. I really do understand that. You just don't know. But it's so essential. It's so important to be able to get someone from not being able to do anything because they just had a stroke, they can't move anything, to get them to the point where they can dress themselves, go to the bathroom themselves, walk, and be able to go home a different person. I don't know. Maybe there's other careers out there that are more magical than therapy, but I haven't seen it yet. No shade, but therapy is amazing. It changes lives and it's not going anywhere. If anything, we need to be in different sectors of healthcare and we need to push therapy even more, because I feel like there's so many different places that we can fit in, that we can make a difference in. Okay? Just kidding. Yeah, so just like a doctor, okay, a medical doctor who's doing surgery and all of those things, therapy is not going nowhere. Therapy is just as essential as someone who is saving someone's life because they need surgery or they need whatever. As medical doctors do, therapy is just as essential, if not more. But probably on the same level. I'm just saying one is not more important than the other, because if you can save someone's lives, but you cannot get them to a point where they can regain or go back into doing the things that they want to do or regain their life back, then yes, you've done well in keeping them alive. But what's the point of being alive if you can't do anything for yourself? I'm not saying that you shouldn't be alive because you can't do anything for yourself. I'm just saying that if I'm alive, I want to be able to do certain things for myself, even if it's the help of using like adaptive equipment or assistive devices or whatever. Each person wants to be able to do some things for themselves. So that's where therapy comes in, and that's why we're so needed and we're so important. Okay, and that's why I'm saying in this video, we ain't going nowhere. Okay, we are definitely not going anywhere. If anything, we're just getting started. We're just getting warmed up. Therapy is a great career choice. And if you're thinking about it, definitely go ahead and take the leap. If you need help to get in, to stay in, to transition after school, then definitely you know where to find me. Okay, I'm going to leave all my contact information down below. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Follow me on Lovely with 2Ys_OT on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.